guys, thanks for coming back to my channel. Today I'm talking with Cedric May. He is a dancer and performer based in Cleveland, Ohio. And we kind of talk about just his experience being a black man in the dance world and kind of finding his worth as an artist. So stay tuned for that. I'm also introducing a Rooting for Black series, which is kind of like an introduction, but kind of not. I was already doing this before, but for Blackout Day 2020, which was on July 7th. So now that that's over, I decided to continue shouting out Black-owned businesses, Black artists, and things like that. So later on in the interview, there'll be a break for that as well. All right, let's get started.
It started in high school. Ensemble was like the first real training that I had. A lot of the stuff that was taught to us applies a lot more now than it did then. Because like I still have like my journals. I've read back into old lessons and lectures that we had to sit through, and I feel like, yeah, this was a good thing for me to experience. In the moment, I was like, what kind of like crap am I listening to? I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not battling my emotions right now. If anything, I'm trying to figure out if this girl likes me. That kind of crap in high school. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I always used to think Mr. Johnson was crazy. I'm like,
literally, I thought he was the craziest guy ever. I was like, this guy is just, he's got a lot to say. I love him to death, though, because he taught me a lot. Yeah, after that, I graduated, and I was supposed to go to college. But that summer, you remember Kevin Parker?
Yeah.
He hit me up, like, right after graduation, and he was like, yo, you should come do this summer camp. You'd enjoy it. After that summer of training with them, I ended up joining their trainee program. And I danced with them about 5 years. And it was a crazy 5 years. I can say that much. But, there was a lot that I learned there. I will never knock anything that I learned there or my experiences that I had there, because it wouldn't have made me the man I am today. I do wish things were different. I wish that I had a better mindset. I wish that I wasn't in the belief that I was just always going to be poor. Because to me, I feel like that was the biggest thing that helped me back, was thinking I'm never going to be able to afford this. Because I wasn't able to put in the same amount of hours everybody else was. And I started to notice that because everyone there had someone that supported them doing it in their family. I didn't have any support. And that kind of started to weigh down on me. Like the first year, I was so lost. And I didn't really have anybody to talk to about that. It changed from not really having anybody to talk to me kind of taking it as a sign that maybe this isn't for me. I let myself get really discouraged. So that was something that I think was one of the biggest obstacles for me, was the finances.
I think that's a really good point, because first of all, dance is like an expensive art form, period. You need access in order to thrive in this business, unfortunately. And sometimes the color of your skin, your socioeconomic status, like those have a big factor in kind of how you navigate through things. So you talking about like how you were having trouble balancing paying the bills and then showing up to do this thing. Like that's stuff that adults struggle with, and you were doing this at like 17, 18, 19 years old. So those are all like really hard things that I even still, struggle with today as a 24-year-old.
I talked about it a little bit earlier. There's an expectation to be able to do incredible things. There's expectation that because he can do it, you can do it as well. And it's like, yeah, that's great to say, like, I believe in you and that kind of thing. It's always nice to set the bar high, but just because someone else does it a particular way doesn't mean that I have to do it the same way. And I feel like that was lost a little bit because I don't think dance is meant to be replicated exactly the same. Like I express myself differently than that person does.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what you're asking for in the piece, but making me replicate something to look exactly like someone else, I feel like that kind of takes away from the art form in a way, in my own opinion.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who would disagree, of course, but I understand like there's a togetherness that comes with dance, but there's also an individuality that comes with it as well. So there was that. We would also have shows or special events, and during those special events, like I would always get like there's all hands on deck, that kind of thing. Like every single person needs to take part in this. That's great and all, and I enjoyed being a part of the process, but those kinds of things hurt me financially. I think it boiled down to just like not having old white money. You know what I mean? Like I hate to say it like that, but
Yeah.
that's kind of what it boils down for me because like being poor and doing this was not like the move. Like I'm now like doing I'm doing different projects with different people, which is a lot easier for me because like there's a lot more openness to it. There's not the strict 5 days a week. I can do my own work, and it's nice because I have mentors now that they see me where I am and work with me there, as opposed to trying to push me to where they think I need to be. If I'm like hesitant about something and I'm doubtful, I always get that encouragement, and I'm not being babied. So being shown like I'm not just a dollar sign to somebody.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I'm getting
absolutely.
that because while I was there and poor, I was sitting here and thinking like I'm never gonna move up. Like I'm gonna be paying these people for years, and that's why I left because I'm like I'm not paying them another year. I'm not gonna do 6 years paying a dance company just to move up to not be in the company but to be in a different position. And like like I get it. Like I get it's a business. They're running it however they want to run it, but I know that it would have just been problems if I had stayed. I would have been bitter. I would have been resentful. It was an eye opener, if anything, leaving because I realized that there's a lot more opportunity. There's a lot more to the dance world. So like if I could have told myself anything back then, it would have been, dude, like the dance world is so huge. There's so many people. Just because one group knows a lot of people doesn't mean there aren't a lot more out there.
Who are you rooting for tonight?
I'm rooting for everybody black.
Hey guys, just interrupting to introduce my RFB Rooting for Black person or company. And today is the person, and it is Sierra Styler. She is a digital artist and she does a lot of work with creating things digitally for people. And she can actually personalize things if you want. So I would reach out to her if you want special art for your notebook. It's something as simple as that, or art for a piece that you want to hang up. So I would contact her. I'll also link her Etsy down below. So if you want to support her, you can do that as well. All right, going back to the interview.
Don't do anything for free.
Yes.
Every single time that someone asks you to do any kind of work, any type of commission, even if you know them, do not do anything for free. I struggled with that for a really long time. Even after leaving that company, I still did work for them for free, like twice. And I was like, why am I letting myself do this? But when you're an artist, you get opportunities. And when you get those opportunities, you need to make the most of them. And if you're giving someone your best, they should be paying you. That's kind of how the world works. That was definitely something I learned at the age of 24. Yeah, 24, 23, 24. And I'm really disappointed it took me that long to learn that. Because I'm 25 this year, and
no, honestly, look, I struggle with the same thing. You want to give back to your community and you want to feel like you're a part of something. But you're right, like you have to, especially as an artist, you have to put value on your work because other people will take advantage of it without a problem, especially as people of color. And I'm still learning that, and I'm 24. I'm still learning that, even if it's like, if they can't compensate me financially, like what are other ways? Like, can you give me deals? Can you give me tickets? Can you give me like this, that, and the third?
Yeah.
Figuring a way to
I'll take it.
bargain and put worth on what you're doing is very important. I think that's a really good advice to give people, especially young movers.
My first mentor, his name is Samuel McIntosh. Um, he is just a mover and animator. He teaches at Kent now. He has it's called 10kmovement.org, and he has his own website where you can kind of look at the classes and stuff that he has. But he does teach at Kent, so if you know anybody that goes to Kent, they probably know him if they're in the like dance department.
Cool.
Something that I'm working with right now, I'm working with one of the sweetest women alive. Her name is Jennifer, and she has what's called the Marquez Dance Project, and we've been working on like a duet kind of thing right now. But due to the pandemic and things like that, we're kind of working individually, and we're going to come back together to kind of share the ideas that we came up with.
Right.
And she also has a website, which is marquezdanceproject.org.
Sweet.
But we right now are working on a piece about isolation and being in, the pandemic. And we're kind of trying to show how people are going to react to the pandemic, how their feelings can be expressed through movement.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun. But other than that, that's all I've been really working on.
Great. I'm going to link all of that down below. And is there a specific social media platform that you want people to follow you on?
Yeah, sure. If people want to follow me, that'd be great. I guess I'm not really good at networking. I'm so bad. I've been like doing modeling on my like Instagram lately. Yeah, it's just said.lydale.
Great. So I'll link all that below so people can follow you and support your work that you're doing. Are there any last kind of words of wisdom you want to talk about or things you want to say?
I'm only thinking a video that I saw of this little kid. What he said as for his last words, if you could say anything to the world, were if people hate you, don't hate them. And do good, die great. That's what he said. So.
Wow. I love it. A great way to end.